in column D, percent transmittance in column E, and then I'm going to make different calculations based on the percent transmittance. In column F, I'm going to take the inverse of the transmittance. In column G, I'm going to take 10 to the transmittance. Column H is the log of the transmittance, and then column I is the negative log of the transmittance. I could run all of these calculations in Apple numbers by writing formulas. I want to hit the equal sign, and the equal sign tells Apple numbers that I'm going to be writing a formula. So I want to take 1 divided by, and then I want to click on transmittance. So this gives us my inverse transmittance, and then I can click on that, click on cell actions, autofill cells, and I can fill that down, and it's going to take the inverse of the transmittance for all of those. I can format this to be less decimal numbers, so it's not as long. 3 or 4 should be plenty. Then I can do the same thing for the next column. Start with equals, and then we want 10 raised to the, and we want to click on the transmittance value again, hit enter, and I'm going to autofill those as well. Then I want the log, so hit equals, log, and I need to hit left parenthesis for this one, transmittance, whoops, I misclicked. Fix that, and then right parenthesis, enter. Same deal with this one, autofill. And then the last one is the negative log. So negative log, left parenthesis of the transmittance, right parenthesis, enter. And then I want to autofill that one as well. I'm going to adjust how many decimal places are being shown just so it looks a little bit neater. I think 4 is good. So now we have all of our data calculations. The next thing I want to do is I want to make a series of plots to determine which one is a linear relationship. So I'm going to be looking for the plot that has a positive slope and goes through 0. So the first one I want to try is just the concentration and the transmittance. So if I select the data and hit the graphing key, I want to go to the bottom to a scatter plot. So this, by default, will graph the percent transmittance on the y-axis versus the concentration on the x-axis. Now, this is not a linear plot, so this is not the graph that I want to observe. This is not the relationship that's going to show a linear relationship between the concentration and the transmittance. I need to choose one of these other columns. To do that, I can click on the graph and hit Edit References. And I can't just drag this column over because it will drag the x's over as well. So it's kind of a little glitch that Apple Numbers has. So what I want to do is I want to hit the gear at the top right, and I want to, I guess I don't need to hit the gear. So I'm going to just drag this handlebar at the bottom right-hand corner over, so it adds another series. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to click on Edit References again, and I'm going to click on the blue one, the percent transmittance, and I'm going to delete that series. And now I have a situation where I could simply slide my y over and I could find which one's going to be the linear graph. So the percent transmittance is not linear, it's a curved graph. The inverse of, actually it stuck those together again, so let me repair that situation. So the inverse of the transmittance is not a linear graph. 10 to the t is not a linear graph. Log of t is linear, but has a negative slope, and it does not go through the origin. And then the last one is the graph that I want. This is a linear graph that has the positive slope, it goes through the origin. So this is the graph that I want. So in order to figure out the linear relationship, I need to do a line of best fit and determine what the equation is. To do this, I'm going to hit the graph and hit Format Tools, and I want to, I guess I can't. I have to hit the graph, and I want to edit series, and that'll allow me to edit the series and format the series. So just to do that again, you select the graph, edit series, click on the series, and then we could connect the lines if we want, Okay, we could see that it's linear, but what we really want is a line of best fit, a trend line. So if I go down the trend line menu, and I just determined that this is linear, so I'm going to select a linear trend line. I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to show the equation on the chart, and that is going to give us the linear relationship. So now that I have that equation, this equation corresponds to this line. In other words, I could take a transmittance and I can plug it in for, so this is, y is going to be the negative log of t. So if I set negative log of t equal to 128,042x minus 1.9915, I could plug in the transmittance of any unknown solution, and then when I solve for x, that'll give me the concentration. In other words, when I plug into this line, I will be finding an unknown concentration. So therefore, I have found the linear relationship between the concentration and the transmittance. And I had to do that by graphing the negative log of the transmittance and the concentration.